What is up, everybody, and welcome into another episode of Weathering the Storm, an Orlando Storm podcast. I am your host, Dakota Wolf, and today we have a very special episode planned for you all. Of course, we are going to be previewing Orlando Storm's matchup Saturday night at 8 p.m. at Entrenco Stadium against the Louisville Kings, but we are also going to have a very special guest, technically three special guests, on for this episode previewing the matchup. Who better to break down the Louisville Kings than the Louisville Kings Corner? We'll bring them in later on in the episode, but I do want to just give a little bit of a prelude. They're only on for about 15 minutes, so we'll talk for a little bit here, go over some players that I'm looking forward to seeing on the Louisville Kings, on the Orlando Storm, of course, give the storylines for the game and who I think is going to win. We'll get into all of that. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. Uh, so the Louisville Kings, just the little storyline to prelude this whole matchup. Louisville Kings did lose their first matchup against the Birmingham Stallions up in Louisville, 15-13. Quarterback Jason Bean for the Louisville Kings, a player that I have been really high on all off season, and still am, of course. Completed 14 passes on 27 attempts for just a 51.9% completion percentage and had one touchdown to two interceptions. Now, at least one of those interceptions for sure was not on him. Threw it to his tight end, bounced off his helmet about 5 times, and then was picked off by the Birmingham Stallions. But, a decent showing for him, still certainly a lot of room to improve. But nonetheless, a solid enough debut for Jason Bean, and that will be their QB for them going against the Orlando Storm. So no quarterback controversy for them. Getting into their rushing game against the Stallions, it was definitely a disappointment, whether that was on the offensive line or more of just not running the ball, not being part of the game plan and throwing it too much. Um, I guess we'll see. That's kind of to be determined. But they did have a pretty loaded running back room going into the season, a lot at the top of a lot of people's power rankings and mine as well. Benny Snell was a standout name for sure. Came out of the University of Kentucky, so a local guy for them there in Louisville. But leading them was actually their quarterback Jason Beam with 5 attempts on 27 yards. Outside of that, not much of anything. Five attempts for 12 yards for Benny Snell, 4 attempts for 5 yards for Jaden Sheridan, and 2 attempts for 2 yards for Ian Wheeler. So they were absolutely shut down on the ground game. They'll look to rebound against the Orlando Storm, but I will say, of course, I'm biased towards our Orlando Storm, but we have a really, really solid defensive line with Isaiah Buggs and Feldarius Payne locking that up in the middle. And of course, Kashawn Banks and Chris Garrett on the edge. So we'll see if Louisville can get it back on track, but it is certainly a tough matchup for them to do that against the Orlando Storm, who had pretty solid run defense last week against the Columbus Aviators. And of course, we have, some Darian Butler will be most likely filling in for Devontae Beckett. Either way, if it's Devontae Beckett or Darian Butler, they're both extremely solid against the run, so wouldn't be too worried about that second level either. So for the Louisville Kings to try and rebound against this Orlando Storm front seven is going to be a tough task. We'll see if they can do it. They have the talent. We'll see if they can get it back on track. Now going into the wide receiver core, this is something that the Kings Corner did mention or highlight. So of course, Lucky Jackson is the star of the team. He came away with 6 catches for 73 yards and one touchdown in last week's matchup against the Stallions. And then we have Isaiah Winstead with 2 catches for 60 and Tariq Black with 3 catches for 59. Those are the three main guys to really look out for from that wide receiver core. And then I guess the defensive storyline that I'm looking out for on the Louisville Kings side of the ball is I'm really curious to see how their defensive line and linebacking core holds up against this Orlando Storm rushing attack, which was one of the few rushing attacks in week one that actually was really, really solid with Jashawn Corbin notching 2 touchdowns in week one. Um, they did hold the Stallions pretty much in check. The only reason the Stallions were able to get the yardage that they did was because they ran the ball so much. 16 attempts for Snoop Connor and 12 attempts for Anthony McFarland, and then 7 more attempts outside of those two guys. So 35 total rushing attempts and only 112 yards. So about a 3.2 yards per carry average. Pretty solid for the Louisville Kings to hold the Stallions to that low of a number. So we'll see if they can slow down Deshaun Corbin and the Orlando Storm rushing attack in week 2. Then, of course, the other storyline, this is going to be a recurring storyline for every single game, is how will Jack Plummer do against the Louisville Kings? He is a University of Louisville alumni, so I guess it's not like he'll be returning home. Home. He played home. He played there 1 year next week, but he'll be playing against the Louisville team. I don't know if that's really a storyline or not, but more importantly is will he continue to hold the starting job? I imagine he will. It was a solid statistical performance last week. Um, but I guess how is he going to do? Is he going to repeat that performance or is he going to make some mistakes? Is there going to be a quarterback controversy halfway through this game? Is there going to be a change? That is yet to be determined. We'll see if Jack Plummer can keep up the solid performance that he had last week. But yeah, that's all I'm really gonna discuss solo one-on-one with you guys before we get into this collaborative part of the episode with the Louisville Kings Corner. Again, super grateful to those guys for joining the show and allowing me to join on their show as well. Really good stuff. If you all are not familiar with them for whatever reason, go follow them on all the platforms at UFL Kings Corner on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter/X. Really love what they're doing over there. It's super great for the league and obviously super great for the Louisville Kings. So go check them out. Without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome in the Louisville Kings Corner, Justus, Herb, and Ty. What is up, everybody, and welcome into Weathering the Storm and Orlando Storm podcast. Today, I have a really special guest joining the show, one of the best UFL podcasts out there, Louisville Kings Corner. We got Justus and Herbert and Ty, the tech guy in the background, joining us.
Yeah. Thank you for your service, brother.
How are y'all? How are y'all doing?
Well, man,
Great, man.
can't complain. I'm on vacation right now, so.
Yeah, vacation from the
Whoa.
Hey, no job drops.
my fault.
It's all
My
good.
fault.
Hey, editor, bleep that out. Dakota's the editor. Bleep it
I'll
out.
I'll cut it out. I'll cut it out. My fault.
That's all good, bro.
Thank y'all so much for joining me. I really appreciate y'all coming on. I guess I'll just open up the first question with how was y'all's game day experience at Louisville? I know it was a sold out crowd. Really impressive for the state of Kentucky. Really impressive for the UFL. How was it?
It's freaking
Man,
awesome, dude. I mean,
we abused those freaking passes, bro. We had media credential passes, man. It was just,
yeah, I mean, first we got the tailgate around what 2:30 or something.
yeah,
Drank a few, hung
did
out.
the podcast.
Yeah, did a podcast. Got John Lewis, James Larson.
Birmingham Stallions fan, the People's King,
He did it
the
again.
People's Gambler, Birmingham Stallions fan.
There you go.
Anyway, yeah, we got the People's King on there, People's Gambler, Jordan Davis. Thank you, Jordan Davis, for your service,
Yeah,
veteran. What else did we do? We
we
got,
got
the
to hold the flag
got
at
the other flag. That
the
was,
game.
dude, probably top 2 experiences of my life, man.
He's been married twice and has 2 kids, so pretty
It's
crazy.
the same one. Anyway,
That's crazy.
Yeah, they did give us media passes. We got to go on the field before. Uh, we got to go down in the field for the concert. That was pretty awesome. My wife liked that.
long snapper Silvers came up to us
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Hey, you are the King's Corner, right?" He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can I get a picture with y'all?"
We kind of, I bet we look like some girls. We was like, hey,
Yeah, we
us?
Well,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. This podcast did a lot for us, man. Like we was taking that flag around the field, and everybody was like up in the stage, like Louisville Kings Corner, Kings Corner. So I mean, it's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
We had kids underneath where we were sitting, and they was like, "King's Corner,
Yeah.
podcast guys," and we flipped some stickers.
Yeah, I
down
threw
there.
some stickers down there. It was awesome, man.
And you
Now
know,
y'all are celebrities now.
post game, we went to like the post game conference thing. Well, anyways, we went to do like a post game like kind of interview with each other, and we got down on the field, and we were sitting there for about 10 minutes and got kicked off. You know, but
Ah,
it was pretty funny.
That dude was taking his job a little too serious, but it was all good. We got to meet AJ McCarron. That was pretty
You
cool.
know, that was sick. SEC
that's
boy.
awesome.
Yes, I mean, yeah, we had an electric Friday night, man. It was awesome.
No, I don't doubt it. It looked electric just on TV. Um, But were y'all, so when you were actually watching the game, were y'all in the stands? Were y'all in the press box? Were you on the field? Like, where
Oh,
were
we
y'all
were in
at?
the stands.
Yeah, I mean, I bought 2 season tickets and only one seat got set in. So, because I stood up the
Yeah.
whole time, I was freaking just juiced, dude. I couldn't. I just got my voice back. I think a little bit today. So
Also, I ain't gonna lie, I was sitting down a little bit, but I was freezing my butt off, dude. It
oh
was
yeah,
cold.
on like the stat sheet, it
Oh,
says the temperature was 46 degrees.
I don't believe that.
You minus 20, then I believe that.
Yeah.
Right. It was freezing.
that's crazy. Yeah, we definitely didn't have that problem down here in Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. I mean,
But
still though, almost 15,000, 30-degree weather. It was pretty good turnout.
no, that's awesome. I love to see it for, obviously the city of Louisville, but just for the state of Kentucky, me being from there and just knowing like no pro teams to root for, even when you're choosing an NFL team, like you either choose the Titans or you choose the Colts or you got the Bengals or some Ohio team nearby. Like it's awesome to see, and I was super proud of Louisville for showing up and packing out that stadium. That was really cool to see. But what would y'all say y'all learned? I'm sure a lot, but what did y'all really learn about your team through week one versus the Stallions?
At least what I learned, our defense cannot do anything on third down, bro.
Yeah, we were 10 for 16 on third down, and I would say most of those were third 10 plus.
Yeah.
Would y'all agree?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we definitely need to fix that on defensive end. I mean, Jason Bean played good, besides the tight end spinning the ball in his helmet and getting picked off.
Yeah.
Man,
He had 2 interceptions on the stat sheet, but man, like
it was only one.
it was really only one. And he was trying to make a play.
And that the last interception that he actually threw was underthrown, but I mean, I don't know, he just missed on it. It was just a bad throw, but I think he played well. The run game definitely needs some work. The receiving room is, I think, pretty
Yeah.
good.
Lucky Jackson, man.
Yeah, Lucky Jackson. Then got the head top catch.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That was right on our side
That
of
was
the
sick.
stadium.
He was going crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, a lot to be excited for. Just need some
Just
work.
tuning up.
Yeah, just a little tuning up and just stop turning the ball over so much.
Brand new coaching staff. They only had 30 days to get together. So
Yeah, I mean, I was happy. I guess I was as happy as I could be on a loss. I would say that.
100%.
Yeah. So what are the overall vibes on Jason Bean? Because just to before y'all answer, again, like I said before, I'm a Colts fan. So he was actually on the Colts, and we saw him in preseason, and he was always really good in preseason. Obviously never played in regular season, but I was super excited to see him play for y'all. So what's the overall vibes on him?
Yeah. Jason B, man, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Came on the podcast over
Yeah.
at 4th Street Love. I mean,
He definitely, I mean, whenever the pocket collapsed, he definitely knew how to get out of there. I think he took one sack at the end that I would say was a bad sack on his part. He could have threw it away, but I mean,
put the game on
his,
line.
his all around play, I was kind of happy with. I mean,
yeah.
we just, like I said, we got to fix the turnovers, and now we'll be fine. We should have won that game. We formed the ball on the 1 yard line. That's a touchdown taken away, and then we kicked a freaking field goal on the 2 yard line on 4th and 2.
Yeah, gotta go for
So I mean, you got to go for that. So I mean, some coaching things I would say, and then just clean up turnovers, man.
Yeah, like you said before, you can't help the tight end bouncing the ball off his head
Yeah,
5 times.
right, yeah.
Another
First
dude
drive
swinging it.
ever in the franchise history, bro.
Yeah. 360 spin on the helmet for a pick.
You know that was keeping him up all night.
Yeah. Gosh.
But all right, up next, what matchup are you all looking out for the most on offense? So what offensive group from Louisville against Orlando's defensive group are y'all looking out for the most in this game?
I would say if this game was being played in Louisville, right, my matchup I'd want to see is Plummer versus the University of Louisville Cardinal fans. We would have been in his butt like no tomorrow, bro.
Well, guess what? He's coming to town April 10th, so get
So
our shot.
Oh my God, yeah.
yeah, I
We
mean,
want the Storm to lose. We hate this dude.
yeah, screw it.
There's
I would say whoever's guarding Lucky, I mean, they're gonna have their hands full.
Yeah, and then the DNs, I think, are going to have a rough game trying to contain Jason Bean, too. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. And yeah, the defensive line had a pretty good game last week against the Aviators. D tackle Isaiah Buggs and Feldarius Payne, and then Kashawn Banks coming off the edge. He actually had the game sealing sack there against the Aviators, which kind of put that game to bed and ran that clock out to 0. But for me, I'm really looking at Louisville's running back room, considering the performance from week one. It didn't. I think going into the season, a lot of people were hyping them up pretty good. Uh, and I thought they would be a really impressive unit as well. So I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at
against our Orlando defensive line and our linebacking unit because we did pretty good against the Aviators. In week one, they had, I think, one good run of like 42 yards, but other than that, every run was like under 3 yards average per carry.
And
So
I
that's
think
what I'm
that
looking out
was
for.
week
What do y'all
6 was our
think?
longest.
And then Benny Snell only getting 5 carries, bro. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
on the stat sheet, we had 16 carries for 46 yards, and Jason Bean had 27 of those 46. So that's a big issue for us. It's definitely going to need to get cleaned up. And then
and
our average per carry is 2.9 yards, and that's Jason Bean holding an average of 5.4. So, I mean, it's good our quarterback can run, but we need the running backs getting going too. So,
yeah, exactly. And we did uh Jalen McClendon, yeah, for the Aviators. We did struggle a little bit containing him. Nothing crazy, but he did get out, so that is definitely something to watch for. But what do y'all attribute to the struggles for the running backs? Is it more offensive line or just not giving Benny Snell the ball or what?
I mean, I would say I would like to think it's Benny Snell, like just not getting enough carries, but I just don't think that's the case because, I mean, we had 3 running backs playing the game. The second one had 4 carries. The second one had 2. So, I mean, I think we just need to run the ball more. I mean,
I
Yeah.
mean,
it's
and
hard to
coach,
get a run game going when you get 5 carries, So,
well, I
Yeah.
mean, if you look at our Coach Roman, he spun it in high school, he spun it in college. So I mean, he's obviously going to have a pro style offense.
right, everybody knows that, but you also got to be able to run the ball too so you
Yeah.
can throw it,
No, 100%.
Yeah, players not plays. I mean, you got Jason Bean, you can run that read option to perfection with him. You have Benny Snell. Assuming the offensive line can do enough, like I don't see, it seems like the perfect offense for Jason Bean, that running back room. But on the inverse, I know y'all said Plummer versus the Louisville Cardinals fans, but is there an actual like group on offense that y'all are looking forward to, or is it really just Plummer and trying to get as many interceptions off of him as y'all possibly can get?
Yeah, we like the sound of that. I'm a Kentucky fan. I just adapted this hate from these guys because it's just like never ending. I just hear about it. So I'm on the bandwagon of the Plumber hate. So
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I'm looking for the running backs. I'm gonna avoid the quarterback room. And I'm just gonna say the inverse, Orlando's running back room versus Louisville's D line. I think y'all did pretty good against the Stallions as well. So I'm looking for
yeah, I
that. And then
mean,
of course Deshaun Corbin.
Our pass block was pretty decent. I think we had one holding call.
yeah.
Actually, I don't know.
So our pass block was pretty good, but we could not move the ball forward or move them forward whatsoever on run plays.
So another guy I'm excited about for run defense is Travis Bell. He's a D tackle, like nose guard player, and he had 9 tackles last week. So
First player ever
Stuffing
from
up the front.
Kennesaw State to get drafted, by the way.
I see why he was a baller. He played
Yeah,
well
but-
last week.
You can only get in for about 3 or 4 plays, though. Then you got to take him out. He's a big boy.
Yeah, he's a big boy, but every time he was in, he's making plays.
Yeah, he's making plays.
There's also, I don't know if I know he didn't play last week. Hopefully he plays this week. Is open.
Yeah,
He was
OJ
out.
Oben. Yeah,
RJ Oben.
RJ Oben. And then he's not going to play this week either. He's Jonathan Adams. He's not playing. He said on his Instagram story maybe a couple weeks ago, or he has like a couple weeks until he can start practicing again. So I don't even know if we're going to see him this season.
And y'all got him from the Showboats, right? Because I remember doing a video on him. I wanted him on the Swarm.
Yeah, we got him from the Showboats.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. So, I mean, y'all kind of just covered it there, all the top players that Storm fans really need to keep their eye on. So I guess we can just go ahead and get straight into the final score and game predictions. How do y'all think this game is going to go, and what do you think the final score is going to be?
Go first.
Oh yeah, man. I think honestly, Jack Plummer being the quarterback of this Orlando Storm team, you're only as good as your weakest link, So you're only strong. But I'll say, Louisville probably goes out there, they score on their second drive, and we don't look back. Just stay up the whole entire
Foot
game.
on the gas.
All game. We got something to prove out here. Coach Redmond got something to prove. I mean,
Yeah.
he just fired his offensive line coach. He needs to show why he did that.
And I will say that press conference we got to go to, shout out Heather Jeffcoat again, like always. Them guys up there, they seem pretty freaking pissed, man. So
Yeah,
I mean, I was excited to see that they were very upset about it. Light that fire in them. So
Jason Bean, boy, that dude was dialed. Like, just
I think he answered one question. It was like a 3-word answer because he was not feeling it.
Yeah.
I also want to make I guess a bold prediction. Tanner Brown hits a 60 yards this week.
yep.
Oh yeah, second
gonna-
one in the league, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna predict that every single week until it happens. I think, yeah, yeah. So final score.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna go 21-27 Louisville.
Yeah, I'd say Kings by 90.
I mean, that's usually our go-to, but
yeah.
90-0.
I will make an even bolder prediction.
oh, here we go.
Shut
I
up.
think Bean's gonna break the record that just got broke last week.
Whoa, that's a crazy take.
Hey,
Wait,
With
what
the-
record?
Passing record, Austin Reed,
game was it like
Oh, yeah.
376. He said last week.
And we do a shutout on defense.
Ah,
Orlando don't score. Hey,
Oh,
27-0, book it.
If it's no points by halftime, a quarterback change better be in place, or that I'll say this real quick: the stadium was holding back DTR chants the whole game, like every inconvenience, DTR, and people would be like, "No, shut up, shut up, shut up." But if it's 0 to something at halftime, best believe you're going to hear that on TV.
Did you notice that you didn't hear any Jack Plummer chants in the crowd?
No, yeah, it was noticeable.
Here's
there
another
were some.
Good. Plummer is going to have more completion to Kings players than Jason Bean.
All right, come on now.
Dakota,
all
we
right.
appreciate you having us on, dude.
Yeah, of course. Thank y'all so much for going. I mean, I'll just give my prediction again: 23-20. Not covering the spread, but completing that game and maybe a quarterback change. We'll see. But uh, thank y'all so much for joining. Really appreciate y'all coming on again.
Yes, sir,
Thank
Dakota,
you.
We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, of course. Thank you all for weathering the storm. Go Storm, Sir John.
Whoa, hold on. Did you cut the camera already?
Hey,
No,
can
I
get
cut
a-
it already. Y'all can't say nothing else.
Oh, no, we're going to.
Oh,
No, I'm playing. I'm
hell.
playing. I didn't cut it.
Thank y'all for tuning in to the Orlando Storm podcast. We appreciate you, Dakota, man. And maybe, I don't know, maybe next week we play all 2 weeks in a row. So
Yeah, of course. I mean, whatever y'all want to do, I'd be happy to be on again. I don't know. I guess
If
we
Jack
could like.
Plummer goes off, we are not calling you back.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be holding my breath on
Those,
that
make
one,
sure
but,
Jack Plummer, by the way.
Nah.
It's gonna be our luck is that Jack Plummer's gonna be on the Kings next year. That's what's gonna happen.
That's
We're
their
like, we
regional
love him, we
allocation.
love him.
It's the regional allocation. They're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he saw my last video, he's probably not a fan of my podcast anyway. So I wasn't too disrespectful, but I made my opinion clear. I can't imagine.
What do you have, a 127 QBR or some shit like that?
It was crazy, but I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I didn't see one single pass past 10 yards down the field.
all check downs.
It was.
Yeah, there was.
He's on that Sam Darnold time, boy.
Yeah,
Don't turn the ball over, you're gonna win ball games.
I think like 240 passing yards and like 190 something were yards after catch. So
Damn.
40 pass yards on the check downs. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
All
All right,
Dakota,
y'all.
we appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yep, appreciate y'all too. I'll see you.
Later.